Well, I wanted to take this opportunity on this brisk morning to take you around the garden and see how things are going. So it's been raining for, I don't know, probably 3 days on and off with a decent amount of rain. So everything is wet, the sun is out, the birds are chirping. So I just wanted to take you along and see how things are progressing here. And it's a super exciting time here in the garden. So let's take a look. Well, here is a view of the garden from the sidewalk. And if you were walking down the sidewalk, this is kind of what you get to see. The garden is here in the front yard. Well, here in the first bed where the arbor is. So this section here on the other side, I'm going to take out these succulents and work the soil here and put some flowers. So I actually have some flowers started, so hopefully when it dries out a little bit, I'll work that area. But over here in this first bed, so on this side I planted some sweet peas and they're not coming up yet. Actually, maybe these are the sweet peas? I don't know. It kind of more looks like a weed. But the carrots and the radishes and the beets have come up. So you can see here's the radishes. And then even the carrots have come up. You can see. So here is carrot, right here is a carrot. Or you can see them here, all these little ones here. Those are carrots. And then these little guys are beets. So here is some transplanted beets, and then these are little golden beets. So you can see they're all doing well. Now over here I did put out some cucumbers. It's been a little cold. Like this morning, it's probably the mid-40s, so it's pretty cold, but yeah, they're still hanging in there. And the onions and the strawberries, they have really grown. It's amazing. So like, if you have the opportunity to buy strawberry starts from a supplier, you know, you should. They're so cheap. I mean, I paid $7 for 25 of them. I mean, you cannot beat that. And they are, I mean, some of them have already flowered, and I picked the flowers off. Oh, you see here, this little guy has a flower, and I'm actually gonna pick that off. And I see there's little flowers here, and I'm just gonna pinch them off because I want them to focus on, or you can see here, here's a whole cluster of flowers, and I'm just gonna pick them off because I want them to establish a little bit more roots. Now these ones are ones I saved from the garden beds from last year, and you can see they're not that much bigger than the ones I got from Little Starts. So I'm super happy. And the tower has been working out. It hasn't been dry. Even there was probably like 3 weeks that they didn't get any rain. I think I watered it once from the initial watering. So I've been happy with it. And then here's the second bed with the favas. And I actually came out here this morning and I picked some favas and I was like, you know what? I want to get the camera out. So I just picked a handful of favas and I wanted to show you what they look like because I realized that not that many people grow favas. So here's what the fava bean looks like, the pod. And then when you open it up, it's fuzzy inside. And then here is the little beans. Now, they get much bigger than this, but at this size, they're super yummy, just like this. So you can eat them just straight up. And I'll just actually put them in a salad. Now, when the pods are small, before the bean has formed, so if you see like this one right here, you can feel it. The bean hasn't formed yet. You can pick this, cut it up, and eat it just like this. I used to curry them, and they're tasty. You can eat the leaves, and you can just see, they're still flowering. Look how many flowers that is. And they smell so sweet. They have the most beautiful little flowers. And, I said the aphids like the flowers. I had one flower patch get aphids. I rinsed it off really good with water, and I haven't seen the aphids since. So it's been good. And you can see how thick the stems of the garlic is doing. Now, if you go down here or if you pick this, it actually hasn't formed a head yet, but because this won't be ready until June. I also in here, I started some zucchini and I kind of put it in there just to see how it does. But yeah, favas are doing good. Here in the third bed, the calendula, you can see the calendula flowers are all closed up. It says it's cold, it's early, but this will open up once it gets more warm out. And I planted some more kohlrabi. I'm having some trouble with this soil. Even now I see, even with these bigger transplants, they're turning purple. So there's something definitely lacking. And even when I've given some of them some fertilizer. So these are new beds. I still need to kind of figure it out. I'm going to have to take a soil test to see. It was new soil from a nursery that was supposed to be growing soil, so I'm not sure what's going on. But here's the beets. And we've used that soil before with the community garden that we had. We bought that soil and they really liked it, so I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, beets I've been harvesting. I harvest beets this week, carrots this week. So come over to the fourth bed. This is the brassica bed. And, a lot of it's gone to flower because we had like the month of February was no rain. It was super warm. So things did go to seed, which I was telling my husband, it makes it really difficult as a gardener because when you only plant like 6 plants and they all don't produce because something happens, then what do you do? So In some ways, it's a lot easier when you plant a whole bunch and you stagger them. You do successions, which you can still do as a gardener. And so I've planted out some Napa cabbages. Kales are going. Here's some other kales. I put out the arugula. It's really the best time for arugula. So what I do is I just cut it way down. And this is probably the second or third time I've cut it down like that. So we'll see if I can get one more round. I heard that arugula can keep in there for 18 months. So we'll see. But these broccolis are almost done. I've been actually picking the leaves and giving them to the chickens until I'm ready to pull them out, which the next couple of days I will. And then these collards really need to be eaten. And another thing I noticed today and this morning when I came out, the potatoes have sprouted. So in this trough, I planted the seed potatoes, and then I heavily mulched it with the cardboard. And you can see the little potatoes have sprouted. So I've kind of moved the mulch away from it just so it can get a little bit more sun. But it looks like almost all of them have sprouted. Can't see with the shadows here. Let's see, you can see this one. So I'm excited. And then the lavender is starting to really perk up. And I purchased some more lavender little plants. This was a different variety I never heard of. But it's still like a French style lavender. And I have room for, let's see, 3 more plants, I think. Yeah. I want a whole border here. This is funny, this mint just growing out of the crack. Pomegranate tree has really put its leaves out. All the herbs are doing really well. There's some mint, onions, and even these little onions that I separated, they were in clumps like this, and I've separated them out. And I really should do more of these. You can see how many are kind of clumped out. But see, the herbs have really perked up. And you can see all the little onions I have planted amongst the herbs here. Look at this little bay tree. Now I've had probably 3 bay trees. I had one for a really long time in a big pot along the garage, and then I don't know, something happened to it, and it was like 3 feet. It was a pretty good size. And then I bought this little one, and this little one has just been hanging on for the last like 3 years, not really doing a whole lot. But I can see this spring it's got all these new little buds. Oh, now see how fragile that is? I just accidentally picked one off. But it's looking really good. It's happy here. And then I had another one, and it didn't even survive a season. So just kind of have to try. And I'll pick the bay leaves off and use them fresh. Now they can't get big, but you can keep it pruned and keep it as a little bush. The catnip, I have to cover it or the neighborhood cats roll around in it. But you can see, everything's doing pretty well. So I've been happy. And I'll take you in the back and I'll show you the seedlings and how well they're doing. The cold season ones are definitely ready to come out. And then I'll show you all the tomatoes and peppers. Okay. So I don't know how well you can see them because kind of the shadows, but these are the cold season crops that they're pretty much ready to go out. You can see how big they are. And what I can't fit in my garden, like these are all a bunch of salad mix. So see what I can fit in my garden, and then I will offer it to neighbors. You see these broccolis, they're definitely ready. And you can see here's more of the salad mix that I haven't separated. But yeah, these guys are doing okay. I've moved them out because I've had to move all the tomatoes and peppers in the greenhouse. Now let's take a look and see how they're doing. Okay, so here inside the greenhouse, the peppers and all the little tomatoes are stuffed in here. There's a lot of tomatoes. And this is the first year I've been doing them here in the greenhouse and not with the farm. So I'm going to sell most of these and see how it goes. And then next year I'll have a better understanding of how many to do. The greenhouse can't really hold anymore. But I have, on the nice days, I take them out and put them in on a table where there's a lot more sun, because the greenhouse doesn't get as much sun as I would like. But everybody's in the 4-inch pots and are happy. Look at these tomatillos. They grow like crazy. Oh, and look at the little eggplant. Eggplant are hard. I only have 4 here. We never had really good luck even at the farm with eggplant or peppers, but I've got some new tricks I'm going to try here to get them nice and big. And again, it's like peppers and eggplant, you don't get until September. Even if you start them in January or February, you still don't get them until September. But you can see, look how big these guys are. And some of the ones that are smaller, I stepped up recent, and these ones that are nice and big, I stepped up in the 4-inch pot. They really take off once you get them in the 4-inch pot. These little guys did in paper. These are determinate ones that I'm actually going to plant at the neighbors. You know, they'll only get so big, put out so many fruit, and I have room for 20 of them. So I was super excited over at the neighbors, since they have some plots of garden there that they're not using. So I'm going to put tomatoes, and I already planted peppers over there, or I planted potatoes over there. So when they come up, I'll show you. So I have still some more to step up. I did not have any more pots. So until I get some of these cold season stuff out, I was just trying to hang on them. But it literally has been raining for like the last 3 days. But so I'm actually really happy. These look much better than they did a week ago. And they're doing good. I've been happy. Stuffed in here, but it's okay. Well, let's get out. Well, that is it today in the garden. I hope you enjoy. And with everything going on, I hope you have something to keep you busy and bring joy to yourself. And these are the times that really make you think about, you know, where your food is coming from and how much you can do at home. And as you can see here, we have plenty of fresh vegetables, and it keeps me busy and brings me joy. So I would love to hear from you, and if you're gardening and where you're from. It's always interesting to see who is watching my videos. Well, thank you. Until next time.